Hey guys, Obi-Wan here. I am just wrapping up. It's about 6 p.m. Mountain Time after another fun day of about 3 hours of work over at Tori's house in the shop. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you guys a comparison of the different helmets. Just to give you an idea of some size, on the far left here is a Cuck Black, and that is the largest of the Biker Scout helmets. And then here we have the 850 helmet. And then here we have the Jimmy helmet. And there we have a TK. And I don't know the lineage of that TK, that Magma Trooper. So, again, here I'm just showing some size comparisons of the different helmets. This is the Jimmy, and here is the KM. Now, the thing that I've seen about the KM, I really believe it's at least 15% smaller or so than the Jimmy. And when I look at it on just a really quick measurement, it looks like it's ballpark about 8.5 inches wide at the widest. And when I go to the Jimmy, I would call that roughly 9.5 inches. So at least 1 inch of difference in the width. And I think it's pretty noticeable, the difference in the two helmet sizes. And yes, I do have the largest of the Scout helmets, but that helmet just definitely feels a little small on me. And then I'll move them around, and I will show you that against the Magma, or I'll show you a side profile here. From the side, it's not too bad. They're fairly similar, but... and I'm being very careful with your front edges, Tori. Okay. So here, let's just do a quick overhead, and then I'll show you what Tori's been up to, because she's been doing something wild and crazy.
Very crazy. I did a thing.
She did a thing. And Tori did a thing because Tori is a skinny git, and what works for other people wasn't working for her. So, Carl, good to see you. Carl, hello. And we are doing a comparison of the different helmets, and then we're going to look at what Tori just did. So there is your size comparison of the two helmets. Firmly believe that the KM 850 is far smaller than the Jimmy. I don't know which one is actually more screen accurate. I just know that I'm a little bit more used to the larger size because that's what the other three troopers in my garrison have. So, Tori, our skinny person, just did a thing because the front of her her calves, the greaves, when she was trying to put on the front plate, just didn't look quite right. It was really resting too high.
It was floating way too much.
Yep.
This is the front half that is causing the front greaves to float far too high for me. So I did a thing, and it was weathered like this. So here's before and here's after. I have completely dremeled off the front greave, at least
this front edge,
a small bit.
Put the two of those side by side.
So before and after.
Okay, let's show the side of that. Okay. And the reason that you did this is, where's that cover plate?
Either cover plate will work.
Right. I was just looking for one.
Let me grab this one. So,
okay, here we go.
Cover plate. It was doing one of these to where it sits way the hell up there. There's a giant gap. No matter how I tried fixing it on there. The reason being is because for some of the details right here, for these deep edges on the other side, it has to have an edge.
Let me show that canoe looking thing there.
But after shaving that off, it fits almost perfectly flush as it's supposed to. I don't know if you can see.
It looks far better than what it did. Show it on the other one.
Yeah.
Show it on the unaltered.
So, altered.
There's unaltered. There's altered.
And then back to unaltered. Far, it's sticking up.
And it was rocking back and forth.
Yeah, I was doing this. But watch this. Once I glue it down, say that I glue it down up top, it won't rock whatsoever. And actually, it'll fit like that. So
I will tell you, it stinks to high heaven down here.
yeah.
That puts some nasty funkadelic.
Yeah. So you're
stuff.
if you're
Okay,
skinny like
my
me,
live stream just did something weird. Hold on a second, guys. For some reason, it went really wonky on me. So I'm going to show you Tori's lovely face.
Hi guys.
Yeah, there's a work of somebody who's been busy cutting out those front plates.
Hilarious? Ready?
What you got? Yep, you're dusty. So, and I'm sorry you guys dropped out. I hope you guys come back. When you watch this on the replay, hey Mike, so on the replay, here's what's going on. Tori shaved down this whole front strip right here because it was causing that top greave plate to really wobble back and forth. So by cutting all this down, it now sits far better.
And now doesn't wobble like crazy. And now it sits flush like it's supposed to.
Yep, looks far better than what it did.
Yeah, I can actually glue this down now. Instead of doing Velcro or the paracord tying that some people have done, it'll now sit flush. And there's a lot of reference material to show that it sits flush. I'm not sure why that top groove is there. There's one picture, one tiny little sliver of a picture to show the groove being there, but for approval, it doesn't need to be there. So
there we go.
And to show you the wobbliness.
Let's show the wobble again.
Nonsense. Look how bad that wobbles. And you can't really bend this stuff too much or else it will crack or break or whatever. It is somewhat rubberized, but I don't want to push the boundaries of this thing. But yeah, and I did weathering.
And Tori's doing a great job of weathering. We'll probably do another quick weathering thing after she cleans herself up a bit.
Yep. I can actually do one right now if you want me to.
Give me a minute. What I'll show you next is the progress that my dear wife has been making on the comma. And so we've been using some reference from a gentleman on bikerscout.net. Showed us some good stuff. And so she is currently working on a test out of cheapo material that we had lying around the house. And so we are getting there. And here is the nearly completed. And I intentionally had her do it with the brightest fabric that we've got so that we could make the lines really, really easy for everybody to see. Now, ideally, this will be a lot straighter on the finished product, but this is just the first op test. And when you look at this image right here, you really see how the line of that goes up to about the top of the back of the calf, and the front of it goes to the bottom of the straps. So that is the measurements that we've been using right there for the comma. So doing two identical parts, and with luck she'll be done with that tomorrow or Saturday at the latest. Alright, quick shot again of the back of the helmets just to show you the size difference. Height-wise, the 850 isn't so different, but it's definitely smaller on the width. So that is what that is. Now into the chemical wasteland that is our working part of the basement.
I'm sorry.
It's a little potent in here, but we'll do a quick run through. Belt sander Dremel. Tomorrow will be a quick run through of the ab. And then here I've actually been painting forearms, bells, biceps, and the thermal detonator. So that has been my major progress. And then the last little bit of today was I glued this on last night. I'm gluing that on tonight. Glued that on last night. And tomorrow I will heat up the straps. Word of warning, if you have a KM kit, these are not as rubber flexible as I thought they were. And they will shatter on you, so don't break them. I will have to heat gun that around. So that will be tomorrow, is doing that. So there are my calves. Kind of a neat trick. I'm actually clamping those down to keep them from rolling off. And that's it. Hey Mike, I think you're the only one here with us.
Hi Mike.
So wave to Mike. And any questions, brother? Or this will be a really quick sign off. Oh, and then Tori will do a quick live stream on her weathering in just a bit.
Yep.
So she's going to get ready for that. And what I'm doing is I'm doing gray first on everything, and then I'm going to hit it all with black flat. And then after that, I will hit it with tan. So I wanted primer on the whole kit and caboodle. So there you go, Mike. And Jared is there too. Cool. It's only showing one. So any questions, anything you want me to show you guys again?
I'm gonna do one of these.
Otherwise, we will get I'll take it right over to Tori and we'll do the weathering. So there you go. Now I'm showing two people. So again, comma in progress, comma almost done that side. Now C3, hello, hello. And again, this was the big thing I really wanted to show off to people, is just looking at the helmets in comparison. Here's my beautiful wife who's been sewing and slaving away. Say hi. And there we are. There are the two helmets side by side.
No, Bill.
Nope. All right, weathering. Weather or not. Let's give the 2-minute weathering tutorial by Tori.
Hi guys, I'm Tori, or also known as Scuba Cat. Today, no, I'm just kidding.
All right, campers.
Campers. Today in Scuba Cat's basement, I'm gonna go over weathering. I already painted this, as you can see, and I don't know if you guys have seen the little Scotch-Brite pads. This is obviously the one I've been using most. It's kind of gross looking, but this is what they start off as. So the green, really kind of dishwashy pads you're going to want. And after I did all the painting, what I've been doing is I've been going over the edges. As you can see, that leaves like a nice scraping on a lot of the edging. So I've been going over some of those, giving it some depth. It does get slightly dusty, but not as dusty as when I was cutting the calves and everything. So it's not too bad. You can also make like lines if you want. But I've been slightly going over this, just getting out a top layer so that the weathering has something to grip onto, because the mixture that I use is a little bit of Windex with the acrylic paint and water. You don't want to use too much of either or, so that it doesn't bubble up too much or leave weird splotches like it has been known to on some of the armor. And here is the little mason jars. They're like baby food jars or whatever, with black and brown. And here are the colors. It's a satin finish. I don't know.
Nutmeg brown is what that one
Yeah,
is.
there's the whatever numbers. I don't know. People keep telling me, look at the numbers, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And then the other one is just black.
Straight black.
With random numbers. And then you're going to want to get these little sponges. These are nice. And you're going to want to keep the lid nearby, because what you do is you use the mixture that you mixed up. You put like one little bitty dab of the paint in here, and you'll just dab around like this. And you go to the armor and just blip, 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 blip. And then there's a reason I keep
your dirty cloth.
Yeah, my really dirty cloth around. You just blotch. Just make random little things. See, and because I didn't use that little bit of paint, the mixture is too much, so it's going to come right off, and all that Windex splotching, I don't know if you can see that very well, there's Windex splotching. So instead, to prevent that, we do literally just like one drop of paint on there, and then we dab a little bit. Make sure not to get it too wet. And then, see how much smoother that is? Way
And it
smoother.
looks really thick. Don't be scared, folks.
Yeah. Because I will usually wipe it in and then do one of these and weathering. And to go over that, do the exact same thing with a little brown mixture in there so that you get the exact color that people keep complaining about. And doesn't care how I use the rag, and weathering. And as I was showing in some of the things, there are high points and there are low points. The low points are these cracks right in here where it's going to be the dirtiest, smudgiest little area you can get in there. And you can let these little bubbles and everything, like little paint, dry. And what that turns out to be is how this is. I don't know if you guys can see that okay, but see how there's like, it's dirty. It's really dirty. That's where all the dirt settles.
It gives it an organic effect, and you really want to focus on those recesses.
Yep,
the low
and
points.
to get the high points back, what I've literally just been breathing on the armor like, like that, just to get a little bit of moisture back in, and you just...
And you're literally cleaning the dirt off of your armor.
Yep, just to like scratch it away a little bit. And you can get some cool effects by like going the other way, and it looks like rainwater has gone away or something like that.
And that ends up looking something like this when you're done.
Yeah.
This is a long, involved process.
Here's another one with the belt and everything.
And I really want to show those low points on this, those logical areas where it's really going to get dirty.
There's another one where like in that hole, I'm gonna actually go back over this and get it dirtier inside of there, just because that's how it's going to be. It's going to be dirty. Same thing with like my helmet. I have the little holes in the back of the vents. He'll show you. I have drip marks from the vents because when it's raining, stuff like that, rain will go in little areas, clean out the dirt just slightly, and then bring it back out, and that's where you get the drip marks.
Cool. All right, well, I'm almost out of battery again. Seems to happen every night. So I'm just going to give you a real quick close-up of the helmet, and then we'll sign off.
Drip marks.
Drip marks. So this is one of my favorite parts, that little attention to detail right down in there. Some really nice logical weathering. So there you go, guys. That completes, I guess today was what day of the week was this? Thursday?
Thursday.
I guess this was
Tomorrow's
Thursday.
Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday already. So we are less than 30 days to Rogue One, and still got some work to do. I'm going to sign out, post up questions, and we'll try to answer them tomorrow.
You can also message Bill/Obi-Wan or I.
Yep.
And any questions, we'll try to answer them as best as we can. We do realize that a lot of people have questions, but we're chugging away and we can try to answer things as best as we can. Wear safety gear.
Yeah, PPE is your friend. Catch you guys later.